What's good, YouTube? Today we have a brand new deck here from the Perth Regionals with Cailan Newton managing to top 8 with Metalfoe True Draco. This is not a deck that I necessarily saw coming, but it makes sense because you get free continuous traps that also get their effects once sent from the field to the graveyard for the tribute summon of the True Dracos. That's pretty good. So let's go ahead and get into it. We've got 3 Volflame, 3 Silvered, 3 Steelin, 3 Gold Driver, 1 Bismugear, 1 copy of Dragoons of Draconia. We've got 2 copies of Eccentric, 3 Bow Baboon, double Masterpiece, the True Draco Slaying King, double Dynamite Knuckler, or just Dynamite Knight now. I like Knuckler. 1 copy of Majesty Maiden, the True Draco Caster, 1 copy of Whiptail, 1 Maxi, 3 Terraforming, 3 Dragonic Diagram, 2 copies of Disciples of the True Draco Phoenix, 1 Summoner's Art, 2 Painful Decision, 1 Metalfoe Fusion, 1 Full Metalfoe Fusion, 3 Combo, and 1 True King's Return. We've got the Phantom Knights of Breaksword, MX Saber Invoker, Tigress, Zodiac Broadbull. That's Tiger Mortar. I get OCGE whenever new OCG cards first come out. Sorry, guys. We got Drident Layers, 1 Abyss Dweller, 1 Utopia, 1 Utopia the Lightning, 1 Full Metalfoe's Alkahest, 1 Adamante, triple Mithrilium, and double Orichalc. We've got Gameciel Dogoron, Fossil Dyne, 2 Fog King, 2 Retaliating Sea, 2 Cosmic Cyclone, 2 Dark Hole, 2 Unending Nightmare, 1 copy of Imperial Order, and 1 Monarch Storm 4th. So, let's go ahead and get into that Young Tournament report. Got top 8 at an 86-player regional in Perth, Western Australia. I went undefeated in Swiss, but lost in top 8 with Draco foes. Round 1 versus Dark Magician 2-0. He let me go first both games, and I ended up both games with Trident, Mithrilium, plus full Metalfoe Fusion, Alkahest, and Water Draco, and Masterpiece in hand. Round 2 versus Spirals 2-0 was an interesting matchup, but Masterpiece was strong in this matchup. Round 3 versus Hero Zolkin Turbo 2-1. I got a game 1 loss because I wrote Zodiac Trident in my main deck on the deck list when the judges deck checked me and my opponent, but proceeded to win the other 2 games against my opponent. Round 4 versus Metalfoe 2-1. Game 1 was bad. I drew subpar, but sat on Masterpiece for about 10 minutes before he saw him strike his effect, and he was unaffected by spells and monsters, not traps, and monsters. Game 2, I opened 3 Diagram, and he scooped. Game 3, he opened extremely bad, but I opened better as I had both Maxi and Retaliating Sea, and he fused. Round 5 versus Kaiju Dinos 2-0 was an interesting matchup, but as I'm not entirely sure what Kaiju Dinos can do, but I was able to prevent him from establishing board presence game 1, and game 2 he let me go first, both games. Round 6 versus Kaiju Zoo 2-1. This was by far my most annoying match of the day, as I remember summoning Masterpiece in game 1, he would Kaiju it, and I brought it back with memories of I brought back memories of how Kieran and the Super Quantum Boss Monster would get Kaiju'd. Anyways, game 1 was back and forth matchup, but I finally got it in the end. Game 2, my opponent ended a board with Trident, invoked Dagusto Dweller, set Strike and D-Barrier, plus Ash in hand, which I was not playing around anytime soon. Game 3, I made a semi-okay board, which he proceeded to Kaiju, slumber me, and start going nuts. And I dropped Maxi on him. He thought he had game, but left me with 600 life. My turn comes around, and I proceed to summon 2 Masterpiece, Mithrilium, and 2 Metalfoe on board to push for game. Round 7 versus Dinosaur True King 2-1. I luckily won the dice roll, but game 1 we both opened pretty average, and he Ghost Ogred my Diagram, which slowed me down a fair bit. But he didn't open any King or Diagram himself, which was great. Game 2, he absolutely destroyed me. He had VFD plus Naturia Beast, plus game 3, I opened the nuts, ending Trident, Blue Draco, Mithrilium, and a set Imperial Order and Maxi in hand with a Masterpiece in hand. And then in the top 8, since they play out their top 8, he got O2'd by Paleo. He said, in theory, this deck should be the easiest matchup, but my opponent won the dice roll, and game 1 had Toad +3 set back row. And I opened 2 Terraforming Diagram, 2 Metalfoe combo, and Whiptail, and I couldn't really do much anything off of 1 diagram. Game 2, I wasn't thinking straight and made a bunch of rookie misplays, like summoning Masterpiece too early and using Masterpiece's effect far too early, but it didn't matter in the end, as he had the answer to everything I would have done. Shoutouts to my fellow members in Team PK, and everyone who attended the event, which made it a fun day. So there you have it, Cailan Newton going undefeated in Swiss. So first in Swiss, getting technically 5th place after top 8, but I'm just going to put undefeated in Swiss, or first in Swiss. They play out their top 8, which is super interesting for regionals. I wish we did that over here, honestly.